Good morning and welcome to class. This is Mr. Sadler coming to you live from the internet on April, I want to say 16th, 2019. First of all, thank you to Mrs. Kelly for being here today. I really appreciate it. Mrs. Kelly has taught math for a lot of years, so she can help you out with all this stuff. Unfortunately, your duty today is just going to hit pause when I say hit pause. And then at the end of the class, there'll be some work time and you can help then. Or again, if during the lesson, Mrs. Kelly, something is confusing, you can translate. Feel free to translate. Okay, so this is going to be your warm-up. I'm going to have two warm-up questions, one at a time. First warm-up question is going to be, and the number of cats Andy has is directly proportional to the number of weeks. And once again, Mrs. Kelly, if I'm going too quickly, feel free to hit pause whenever I'm running too quickly. And for the class, just yell, put your hand up and say pause please, and Mrs. Kelly will pause it. Proportional to the number of weeks. A, if Andy has 16 cats in 12 weeks, find an equation. So equations for a cat. And B, using your equation, how many cats will he have in 52 weeks, which of course is 1 year. Okay, so this is Kelly. If you can hit pause, please, and let the people write this down, and they're going to try and set it up. This is from Thursday's lesson if you were here. If the person beside you was not here on, your elbow partner was not here on Thursday, please give them a hand. Okay, hit pause now, and I'm going to come up with a solution. Okay, I just noticed there were two A's. I'm going to do black A right now. Actually, I'm going to change the color. So here's my solution. Andy is 16. It says, well, how are we going? The number of cats, so I'm going to say let C equals cats. That should be cats with a C, of course. You can tell I'm not feeling well. C equals cats, and W equals weeks. So it should be C equals KW. This is always the starting point when you see the word directly proportional. Okay? So it's going to be the first thing is something times the second thing. Okay, so we're learning here, it says Andy has 16 cats in 12 weeks. Find an equation. So I'm going to say my cats is 16, my K is still my K, and my weeks is going to be 12. Okay, to isolate for K, of course, we're going to divide by 12. And if I'm going too quick, please, Mrs. Kelly, for to stop. I think if I'm doing this in my head, so I'm going to assume that's 4/3, which is 1.333 forever. Okay. Therefore, my equation, this is what we're using for, is now C is going to equal 1.333 dot K. Okay, so that's the equation we're going to use for part B. Okay, if you want to hit pause, Mrs. Kelly, and if someone needs explanations, please raise your hand and she will help you. Wonderful, good. Okay, letter B, using your equation, how many cats will he have in 52 weeks? Okay, well, obviously we know the new variable that we have here is going to be my weeks equals 52. Therefore, C is going to be 1.333 times 52, which I don't have a calculator. I'll try and do it in my head, 4/3. I can't do that in my head. Sorry about this. Calculator, where are you? Okay, so it's going to 52 times, whoops, and it was really 4/3, so I'm going to do that. It should be 69.3 cats. I don't, Andy, please don't ask how you get a third of a cat because I don't really know, okay? What was that, 69.3? Yeah, 69.3 cats. Therefore, Andy will have 69.3 cats. Okay, so take a second, make sure you understand that. If you need to pause, because I'm going faster today, okay? Today's a super fast day for me because I feel awful. Okay, here we go. Second warm-up question today, which we're going to call 2, I guess. Okay? It's going to be using this table. Make an equation. The equation is going to be y equals mx plus b. And b is in the second part is going to be if x equals 299, what is y? Okay, so I'm intentionally making a difficult one here. So 3, 6, 9, 12, and it's going to be, hold on a sec. Sorry, one sec. This is going to be 2, this is going to be 8, this is going to be 14. Now the hint I'm going to give you guys is that it might be useful to make a new chart beside it. Okay? So Mrs. Kelly, if you can pause this, please. For those that were here yesterday, try it. If you weren't here yesterday, please ask the person beside you or try and get Miss Kelly to help. Okay? And pause, please. Thank you. Okay, so you want your equation to be y equals mx plus b, okay? Which sounds great. We have few problems here. Number one, we don't have a 0. Because when you have a 0 here, that is going to tell you what your b is going to be, okay? So the pattern here looks like it's dropping by 6. I guess that's going to be -4, right? All right, great. So this is going to be -4, y equals. Okay, as far as slope, you have to count by 1s, unfortunately. So I'm just going to do this and try and find the pattern. If you are going by 6s for a count of 3, that means you're probably going by 2 for a count of 1. So this is going to be -2, 0, 2, and of course this matches this. And 4, 6, 8, and this matches this. I'm going to keep on going all the way through, but that should be enough. Okay, so now we can take a quick look. What are the y values going up by here? Well, it looks to me like they're going up by 2. Right? So it's 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. So this is going to be 2. Now again, the slope here, the 2 here, means how much the y goes up for each x. Okay, so what that means is when you guys are getting this on your test, hint, hint, okay, please make sure you count by 1s, even if it's decimals or fractions or whatever, okay, since it'll probably be one of those on your test for your assignment. All right, Mrs. Kelly, if you need to explain, hit pause and try and explain, and then we'll do letter B. All right, great, we're back, okay, so it's going to be, for the second one, we know our value that we get here is x, so it's just going to be, we know again, x equals 299. Why do I put these huge numbers? Y equals 2 times 299 minus 4. I'm going to use my great math skills in my head. I think that's going to be 598. If it's not, please correct me tomorrow, okay? And y should equal 598. All right, so those were 2 warm-ups. We still have to get to today's class, which I'm going to do right now. Today's class should be relatively straightforward, okay, especially if you're in period 2, because we're talking about slope. In period 1, this is somewhat new, but you guys can do this. All right, here we go. So if you guys can go to a new page and write the title slope here, that would be great. Once again, Mrs. Kelly, I'm feeling awful, so I'm going to go through this as quickly as possible. If you need to add anything, or if I'm writing too fast to just copy down, just hit pause, okay, and give the class a chance to copy. Great, thank you. Okay, so here we go. In blue, so everyone can see it. Slope is the steepness of a line. Okay, so to go back to yesterday's lesson, it was y equals mx plus b, and m is going to be your slope. Okay, so I'm going to write an equation on the board that you guys have to commit to memory. Are you ready? And Mrs. Kelly, you can help to force this in their memory, okay? So slope equals rise over run. Okay, so what rise mean? It's going to be going like, how much you're going up divided by how much you're going right. Now this is the trick, okay? When you're going up on your graph, is it going to be y or x? That's right, it's going to be y. Okay. A few hints here, okay, is that x is always going to the right. Y for y up is positive. And down is negative. A few other things I want to write here. Okay? So just a quick little diagram. I'm sorry for going too quick. Please stop me here. So this is a positive slope. Looks like this. So here's my chart. A positive slope looks sort of like this, and it is increasing from left to right. And we'll talk more about this when I get back. And a negative slope goes sort of like this. It's going to go downward from left to right. Decreasing from left to right. Mrs. Kelly, if they have questions about zero slope or infinity slope, please tell them. I'll talk about that tomorrow when I'm back, or you can talk about it now if you want. Oh, excuse me, that's a bad sneeze. Okay, so take a second, copy this down, please, if you would. Ms. Kelly, you pause, and I'm going to get going quickly. All right, thank you. Here we go. So example 1. This is just going to be just some easy stuff, okay? I'm going to say translate to English. Now I'm going to do letter A, and then write down B and C, and then we'll go from there. So A, we're going to start with M, which is slope, equals 3 over 2. Okay, what that means in English is you're going 3 up and 2 right. Again, because the numerator is positive, that's your y value. Okay, so the y, so I should have wrote something else in there. Sorry, teacher, here we go. Just kidding, I'm the best teacher ever. So again, so this is going to be, you might want to say rise over run, or y over x, if you want to put that in there too. Okay, so a rise of 3 means you're going 3 up, a run of 2 means you're going 2 to the right. Okay, I'm going to write the next 2 questions on the board, Mrs. Kelly. If you can please pause it when the questions are written down and give the class a chance to try B and C, and then I will come back on afterwards. Okay, so B is going to be M equals negative 2 over 5, and C is going to be M equals 2. Now, both of these are tricks, but I'm a mean teacher. So please hit pause. This is Kelly, and go from there. All right, great, we're back. Okay, so this is going to be, again, rise over run. Now this is where things are tricky. What is, if a rise of 3 is up 3, what is a rise of negative 2 going to be? And I can't hear you, but I'm assuming you're saying 2 down, right? Because it's a negative, you're going down 2. And a run of 5 always goes to the right. Okay? So you got that? A negative slope changes to 2 down. For letter C, we have to do in addition to this. As you may or may not have noticed, every other question has been in a fraction. Okay? So, to put this in a fraction, as you remember from our horrible fraction units, okay, which took forever, okay, I'm going to make that over 1. Now, this is really easy because you just change it to rise over run, which again is going to equal then 2 up and 1 right. So a slope of 2 means for every point on your graph, you're going to be going over 1 and then up 2. So say up 2, okay? So even a whole number slope just means a denominator. That's supposed to be straight line too. Okay, if you need to keep scribbling, please let them do so, Mrs. Kelly. Otherwise, I'm moving on. Here we go. All right, here we go. Example 2. Are you guys going to need this on your, if not on graph paper, then do it, please, somewhere neatly in your notes. Okay? So this is going to say find the slope, and I'm going to do the first one again, and you guys are going to try the next 2, okay? Find the slope of the following line segments. Segments. Sorry about that. I can't. Whoops. I can't write. Okay. Letter A. We'll do this one together, and you guys can do B and C. Okay. Now, when they're just starting out, I guess some people think they're masters of slope and do this already. But when they're just starting out, please follow along my process. This will get easier as time goes on. Okay. But just stick with what I'm doing for right now. So the first question is going to be, the points are going to be, let's find a marker, are going to be 3, 4. 2, 4, 6. Okay, so I'm going to ask if you can quickly just do a sketch of this. So I'll show you how it works. My little rough sketch, okay? And you can do this on a big piece of graph paper for all 3 if you want to. Okay, but there's my rough sketch. Okay, please, this is a rough sketch. That's all you need. It's not perfect, okay? So this is going to be about, this is going to be 3, 4. And this is going to be, oh my goodness, it's awful drawing, 4, 6. So line segment looks something like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to make something called a rate triangle here. Okay? So remember we say M is going to be rise over run, which equals Y over X. So what you're going to do is this is going to be your starting point because it's the one that's on the left. So this is point number 1. Okay? So what you're going to do is for your Y value, you're going to just count up how many points it is from here to here. So I'm starting at 4 and I go up to 6. That should be a positive 2 up that way. I'm getting out of the way. Sorry, my drawings are off. Let's try again. Should have done some big paper. There we go. Okay? So we're starting with this guy first, and we're just going to go upwards this way again and over this guy. So if you have a Y value of 4 and you're going to 6, that's just going to be up 2, right? So you're going up 2 values in your Y value. So if you're going up 2, the Y is going to be hopefully 2, okay? Because that's up 2 is positive. For the X's, then you're going to start here, which is right here. You're starting at 3 for your X's, and you're going to your 4, which means that's going to be 1, right? And this isn't very clear at all, so hopefully this makes sense. Okay, maybe I'll do the next one too a little bit bigger so you can actually see it and you guys see number 3. Sound fair? Okay, so again, from this point, you're going up 2 and right 1 to get to the next point. So the Y values go from 4 to 6, which is 2. The X values go from 3 to 4, which is 1. Okay, and again, up is positive and right is positive. Okay, I'm going to try the next one with you guys, and hopefully I'll draw it bigger so you guys understand more, okay? All right, take a pause if you're not quite there yet, Mrs. Kelly, and if you need to translate anything, please feel free to do so. Okay, good. All right, so this is B. It's going to be -2, 6, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to draw this. I'm actually going to try and do a decent job of my graph here. Okay, of course I'm not using rulers, so I would be deducted marks. So that's -2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6. That's 4. We have 1, 2, 3. Okay, so of course I would lose marks on my test for this because I didn't include every number, but I'm just trying to show an example. So my first point, which I'll do in red, is going to be -2, 6, which is up here someplace. Okay, so that's -2, 6. The second one, which I'll do in green for some reason, is going to be 3, 4, which is going to be over here someplace. Okay, I'll connect the dots there. Okay, if you need me to pause and you can write that down quickly, go ahead. Okay, right away, without even looking at this, I'm going to say instantly this should be a negative slope. Because this is decreasing. So once again, from memory, you're going to say that m equals rise over run, which is y over x. So start with my y values. We're going to do the same thing we did before. I'm going to do this in blue this time. So your y started at 6 and then went down. So we're doing something like this, right? So the y value, we're just measuring this part, which in this case is going to be -2. The reason you're going to be going down 2 because you started with a y value of 6 and you ended with a y value at 4. So this is going to be -2. As far as my x values, you started, I'm going to do this in this color as well too. So you're just counting the distance between here and here. So you're starting at -2, it's 1, 2, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Make a mistake, let's try again here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be an increase of 5 that way. Okay, so my slope for this one is going to be -2 over 5. Okay, Ms. Kelly, hit pause and explain anything possible for that one. And then I'll let you guys try number 3, number C. Okay, so there are easier ways to do this. So there is easier ways to do this, but for the first day there isn't really. So the third point is going to be 3, 4 to 4, 2. So Mrs. Kelly, please stop your the video here, please. If you want to do this on the same graph, feel free. Okay. So I'm going to try to make a nice big graph here just to help there. Okay. So I'm going to do. This is only a positive graph, so I'm just going to draw it like this. And we're going over to 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's your x. And over this way, we're going up to 4 as well. And that's 1. Okay. So the way it works on a test, if I give you graph paper, do as best as you can. If not, you know, you draw a little sketch in your notes, and I'll be wrong for that. Okay. So 3, 4 is my first point. So I'm going from here to here. 4, 2 is my second point, so I'm going from here to here. Now once again, just looking at this graph is going to be positive or negative. I hope you said negative there, okay, because it's decreasing. So this is a negative graph, negative slope, decreasing. Okay, so I'm going to make my little triangle here again. Now, so this is going to be a y value of 4 going down to a y value of 2. So hopefully that should be -2. Okay? So therefore, going down the bottom here, so m equals rise over run equals y over x equals -2. Now, the reason that it's -2 because you always start with the one on the left. Okay, it's not positive. If you started with this one, it would be positive. But again, you always start with the one on the left and go left to right. That's what it always goes. For my x values, I'm going from 3 to 4, so that to me looks like a distance of 1. You'll have lots of these to practice this afternoon. Okay? All right, Mrs. Kelly, if you need to explain anything, please feel free to do so. If you need to pause, go ahead. I'll move on to my next example. Here we go. This is example 3. I'll do the first one, you guys can do the rest. Okay? So we're going to say, given a point and a slope, find two other points on the line. Now, when you have slope in an equation, it's always going to be a line or a line segment. This, even though I didn't use a ruler, is supposed to, for letter C here, should be a straight line. Okay, so everything here is going to be straight lines we talked about in the rest of grade 9. Find two other points on the line. Okay, so A, we're going to say my point is 5, 3. And my slope is 2. Okay? So let's just talk about the slope for a second, because once you understand what slope is, this question is really easy. Okay? So a slope of 2, I'll just do this aside here. So m is going to be 2, is rise over run equals 2. Again, I don't like not having a fraction. So what does 2 turn into as a fraction? I hope you're thinking 2 over 1, right? So a rise of 2 means you want to like go up 2 and right 1. Okay, so 5, 3 is a point. The next point would be, well, I'm saying it's going to be your x value is going to go up by 1, which is going to be 6. And you're going to go up by 2, so it's going to go 3 plus 2, which is going to be 5. That's 1 point. Okay. And you can just count by 1s and 2s all the way through. Now, someone's going to say, can I go negatives? Yes. Instead of going plus 1, you can change these both to negative. So it would be, another point could be 5 minus 1 and 3 minus 2. That still works because since these are both positive, your slope here, you can go -2 and -1. You know what I mean? Which would be down 2 and left 1. Okay, which is going to be 4, 1. Okay. Now somebody's going to be brave, and let's say we do 100 steps. Okay. So another point we could do, we could start with 5 plus 100. If the x goes up 100, the y is going to go up 200. Okay. So as long as you're multiplying the same way. If you need to explain that, Mrs. Kelly, please feel free to. Okay, right, but the idea is any multiple, so this would be, if you multiply this by something, if you multiply this by something, you also have to multiply this by something. Because like think of like equivalent fractions. 2 over 1 is like 4 over 2, so that'd be like going up 4, right 2, or 20 over 10, up 20, right 10, or 200 over 100, which would be 200 over 100. Okay. All right. Example. I'll let you guys do B and C, and then I'm going to almost stop, if you can believe it. Wow, that's scary. Okay, B and C. I don't know how long this video is. Hopefully, it's sort of okay. Okay, the point is -3, 5, and your slope is -3. And again, I want at least 2 points. Okay. C is going to say your point is 2, 2, and your slope is -2/3. Okay, so Mrs. Kelly, if you can pause this, please. Give me a second to try that. Excuse me, and then when they're done, please stop it, or please re-pause it. Okay. All right, thank you. So for the first one, I'm going to do the same thing I did before. So m equals rise over run, which is going to be -3 over 1, which is going to be down 3 and right 1. So if my point, so the first point is going to go -3, 5. Sorry, what's going on there? 5, is that right? Goes to -3 plus 1, because that's your x, and -3 minus, sorry. I'm getting all worked up here, sorry about that. And 5 minus 3, because again it goes x and y. So the first point could be -2, comma 2. Another point could be, there's many of these that are possible. I'm going -3 plus 2, so I just times everything by 2, and 5 minus 6. There are literally going to be, so that's going to be -1, comma -1, is that right? I think that's right. Okay, but there literally could be infinite points, right? You can count by, like, if you wanted to, you could do like 300 and 100, right? So you could use that if you want to for your increasing and decreasing. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. So the same thing for the second one here, okay? So it's going to say m equals rise over run equals -2 over 3 equals down 2, right 3. Okay, so it's down 2 and right 3. Another one I'm going to use is down 4 and right 6. Okay. So my first point was -3, comma 5. Okay, so I'm going down 2, right 3. That's going to be my x values are going to be right 3. So it's going to be -3 plus 3. And 5 minus 2. And again, the right 3 is this one, the down 2 is this one. So it's going to be 0, comma 3. Another one could be, I'm just going to use these guys over here, so I'm going to say -3 plus 6 and 5 minus 4, which is going to be, I can't do that in my head, 3, comma 1. Okay. So that's it for today's lesson. This goes out to Andy, who complains every day about not getting questions out of off the sheet. So here are the questions for a sheet off the sheet. Okay, the questions we're going to do tonight. I'm just going to stutter here, so hold on a second. Homework is going to be off the sheet. I'm going to do number 1, 3, 4, 12, 13, and 14. Okay? All right, well, have a good day. Thank you, Mrs. Kelly. Hopefully my first grade class didn't give you any trouble with their cell phones. If you need your cell phone, you can use it right now. Please get the sheet done today, okay? And, yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Okay? Okay, bye.